Hi. New year, new me. Spooky ghost videos. Tier list? Yes. We've already done a few. Let's do some more. This time with modern footage. Don't forget to support me on Patreon if you want to see more previews of upcoming videos. Anyways, here's a sponsor. Have you ever actually taken a moment to Google yourself? I actually did this a few weeks back, and I was actually kind of shocked at the amount of info that was available online about me. Sensitive info that I genuinely had no idea was publicly available. There's a lot of ways these websites can breach your data and have done so already, which is why I'm happy to be sponsored by Aura. Aura is an easy to use tool that can help stop data brokers from selling your data to scammers, identity thieves, and more. Aura can monitor your personal data, including your social security number, across billions of data points, including the dark web and public court records. They'll alert you immediately about any potential attempts at identity theft. Plus, they'll alert you within minutes when your credit file has been compromised, such as someone attempting to open a credit card or receiving a loan in your name. They'll be quick about it and make everything hassle-free. They also have a VPN to protect your internet connection from scams and phishing sites, as well as provide an antivirus and password manager to help store your info securely and conveniently. Your data will be safeguarded by Aura, protecting you from would-be thieves, and with their 24/7 customer support, you can be sure that Aura has always got your back. Stop leaving yourself vulnerable to data breaches. Go to my sponsored link to get a 14-day free trial and see if any of your data has been exposed. Check them out and you'll love them, and thank you again to Aura for sponsoring this video. So this was sort of the apex of ghost footage. Like, yes, this was popular here in America. It was a very niche corner of television that people were popping up like new TV shows about ghosts and mysterious stuff and whatever. But now we had the internet, and people were going viral with the shit that they found, not just here in America, but all around the world. And this is the sort of stuff that really gets me excited, because this is the era that I grew up with personally. I love this ghost footage. But things are getting far more complicated now, because video editing is no longer just a niche skill that people who are in the profession know. Now everybody can just do it. Anybody can get a program and just edit their own footage pretty easily too. But on the flip side, cameras are far more available to people. Anybody can buy them and anybody can record any sort of footage, no matter how grainy or bad they are. So now there's a ton more footage that we can go through, but most of it might be bullshit. But now it's our job to sift through all of that, the good, the bad, and the ugly, starting with
No, there's a motorcycle. See?
I don't see nothing down there. Can't be the motorcycles, honey. There's another sparkle. You see what I'm saying?
What is that?
Tree.
No. You moved it, right? Right there. See it?
Uh-huh.
Look.
There's nobody there. I can't see it.
Look. Isn't it the people?
Can't be.
There's nobody
Not up in
down
the
there.
trees.
There's nobody down there no more.
So I don't really know much about the background of this footage right here. From what I understand, this is like a Gettysburg field, like an old Civil War site. And this family just sort of sees floating weird orbs somewhere deep in the forest. I personally keep flip-flopping between whether or not this is a convincing footage of ghosts or some sort of entity, or if it's just orbs, or if it's just lights, just weird lights, maybe even fireflies, but I can't really tell. I can't convince myself if this is like something paranormal, or if this is something that can be totally explained. Could be fireflies, sure, but it could also be just a bunch of headlights behind this thing. What I really want to know is where this took place, so we could see if there's mountains or hills behind, so that way we can see if there's a highway or something of the sort that's probably causing these weird lights to appear. Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain what this is. Is it completely impossible to explain? No, that's not the case at all. If I knew where exactly they took this footage, we could probably pull up Google Maps, and if there's a hiking trail right behind this forest, mystery solved. It's definitely people just like hiking with their flashlights out, trying to see where they can step and, you know, trying to navigate through the forest as they're camping out there. But it's really not as easy as that. There's definitely a few oddities about this that don't really make it that simple. For example, there's a lot of lights. Is there really that many people on that trail? Again, if we knew where it was, we could probably see if it's as populated as we think it is. Not only that, but there's also a lot of them that are uneven. Not all of them are going in a straight line, not all of them are going up and down. They're all going at a sort of random pattern. I think if you're dismissive enough, you could just say it's people going everywhere, but according to the people who recorded this, what they're seeing is up in the trees, so it has to be people from behind the forest. But if that's the case, I mean, they just look so clear. I don't know, it's a really weird mystery. I can't explain it totally, so that's why I kind of think it's amazing that this footage exists. Yes, it could possibly likely be people in the background, but I don't know, there's something weird about the shape of these people, the directions that they're going, and the height in which they're found. It's bizarre. Given to the fact that also that this was recorded by an old couple that weren't really hunting ghosts or anything, they were just sort of filming out of nowhere. And yeah, no, this is just really good. I would say this is good. You know, honestly, I know it's not the most spectacular footage that we could possibly find, but oftentimes the most believable ghost footage are the ones that are the most subtle and the ones that have the most humble backgrounds to them. And this, it's pretty good. So this one comes from the sci-fi show Ghost Hunters. They were a group of people who kind of innovated the space of ghost hunting shows. See, ghost shows were mostly like done seriously. I mean, genuinely, look at this, look at this. This is how ghost shows were formatted, as if they were news. Like, it was really boring, but really matter of fact. They just gave you what they had. When it came to Ghost Hunters, though, it became a lot more personality driven and more dramatic, and there were more people involved in these sorts of productions. And it's complicated, but it was one of my favorite shows back then. Back in their first season, they actually caught a decent amount of evidence that's really hard to explain, and the one that always stuck with me at the back of my mind was the one where they had a ghost show up on camera at the Eastern State Penitentiary. It is a very simple clip. It seems like some mass of shadow just appears in front of the camera and then just walks away, or runs away, really. And it is so hard to debunk. In fact, they even tried to debunk it, but they explained that they just couldn't because they couldn't see. Like, if it were someone with a black blanket on top of them, then they would have had to have, like, ran really fast and then ran backwards at the same speed without stopping, without halting, without fucking up. And this is exactly that. It is really hard to explain. It's really weird, but I think I might know how they did this. I think this footage is sped up. I don't think this is the correct speed. This is. And if it were at this speed, it's far more likely we know how this happened. And that whole blanket theory is probably what it is. Just some guy with a black blanket over them running, or at least going at a brisk pace towards the camera, and then communicating with someone who tells them, hey, you're too close to the camera, back up and run backwards, and then they swiftly go backwards and run the other way. That seems to be the likely evidence. It really does seem sped up. I mean, in my opinion, look at all the dust. It just kind of looks too fast. It just doesn't seem like the normal speed to me. So slowing it down to this pace makes it more believable that it probably was someone who wasn't running, but definitely going a bit faster than a walk. And that's the problem with this whole footage, is that weird leg that just pops out from the black mass, if that didn't exist in the original footage, it would be way harder to explain what this is. But because of that, it just sort of seems like a tennis shoe and some jeans. It's good, it's convincing, but I don't think it's real. I mean, especially since, again, this is a TV show, and TV show evidence is so hard to believe. You have a lot to gain from faking evidence. You have a show to make entertaining, and I promise you, 90% of ghost investigations are nothing at all. Most of it is psychological. Most of the time these ghost investigators go to a location that's haunted, they always state something like, I felt something, I heard something, I feel a cold air, or something like that, right? But we can't see that or feel that as the audience, so we're just taking their assumption, their belief that they did feel something or hear something. Added to the fact that they're in a haunted location that has this horrible past, and these guys are gonna probably believe in what the fuck they just said about what they saw. That's the ultimate problem of having a ghost show. But this, yeah, no. It's believable. I mean, nobody's outright, like, debunked it, right? I don't think it's real, but it is believable. And that's all I'll say about it. Let me know what you think. This next one is a classic. I think all of you have seen it, especially if you're even slightly interested in ghosts. It's weird, though, that so many people think it's real, even to this day. Like, I've seen this video show up on, like, classic top 10 horror ghost videos. It is so fucking fake, it doesn't even require much research. Here, let's explain, first of all, this footage. Okay, so this girl is here, and then there's a ghost girl up there. The girl says, "What's that?" Immediately runs towards it. By the way, if you ever capture a ghost, go towards it. Dude, you can't get killed by ghosts. They're pussies. Don't even worry about it. Anyways, she goes towards it, sees up the stairs. They call her a bitch. And then they see her at the second floor of their house, and she's like, oh, it's very scary. Listen, it's not real. And I'll tell you exactly why. The person who uploaded this uploaded 2 other videos called Girl Ghost and Girl Ghost Close-Up that shows the same exact quote-unquote apparition, and it's just a girl. It's just one of their friends. It's just a fucking girl with like messy black hair, and that's it, and she has like maybe a little bit of makeup, and it's scary. It's obviously meant to be a prank and was never really meant to be like a real thing that people thought was like actual ghost evidence, and that's it. That's literally it. I'm almost willing to put this as like F for funny, just because it's funny how many people think this is real. But I'll just put it at D for debunked. It's funny to me that so many, like, this is the sort of viral stuff that still is famous to people and still remains in their heart as like one of the scariest things they've ever seen, even though it's completely bullshit. And I guess that's why I make these videos, because it's fun to go back to these videos and just think, wow, we were stupid kids one time. But yeah, no, it's not real. It's fun, but it's not real. Well, that's it for the modern ghost videos. Stick around, because next time we'll be talking more about current stuff, ghost footage from more recent years. And if you've been liking these videos, then stick around. I have more ideas coming, and it's not just ghost stuff too. I'll be looking at weird websites, and mini mysteries will be coming back soon. Plus some other weird oddities. I don't know, I'm just experimenting for now, so hopefully you guys like this video, and you subscribe if you're new. Until the next video, see you guys next time. Love y'all a ton. Goodbye.